The only thing stopping you from being confident right now is your own brain. There is no external person or circumstance that's physically constraining you from being confident. It's just your own brain, right? You are holding yourself trapped, you are holding yourself prisoner by intention. And in your incarceration, you're trying to convince every single citizen passing by your prison cell that you are not trapped, that you are a free person. You're trying to master social skills and charisma and try to reverse engineer a confident body language, all of these things just to convince those people that you are free. But they can see straight through your bluff. They can see the walls of the prison cell, they can see your prisoner inmate outfit. They don't want to have an inmate around. Now, to other citizens passing by, you're begging for help. You're begging to them to give you the key so that you can become a free person. And you do that through requiring validation, through chasing appreciation, through optimizing everything for a good feedback. Because when people show that they like you like yourself a bit more and you feel a bit more free, but you're still trapped inside the prison cell. The illusion here is that they have the key that's gonna set you free. But in fact, in reality, the prison cell is closed from the inside, and the key to the prison cell gate is hanging around your neck in a necklace. You are the only one holding the key that can free you and that can make you confident. None of those people on the outside have. None of those circumstances or achievements on the outside will do this for you. And chasing them and begging them for help is an infinite pursuit that's never gonna work. The way for you to break free is to break this key down from your neck, open the prison cell gate, and go outside. And that can be done through giving yourself the permission, taking the decision to give yourself the permission to be more free, to be careless. If you think about it from the perspective of you need to become confident, what that implies is that you are not confident. If you need to become something or to add something to you, it means you're lacking that something. And if you're lacking that something, you can never achieve it because you always have a condition, you always have something to satisfy, right? Some requirements to check before you can get it. And the thing about these requirements and goals is that they never disappear. They are always updated. Once you get to the point where you thought you would be confident enough, you raise your bar even higher. And now you need to get to this point. Then as time goes on, you reach that point, you need to get to a point even higher than that. The illusion here, the fortunate illusion, is that you are already confident, so you don't need anything to become. You are already confident, it's just that you can't see it for yourself. When you were a child, when you were a baby, you were crying and laughing out loud with your entire body, with your entire passion, raw, pure passion, not fearing judgment. You were acting, you were playing however you wanted. And now look at you. You're a shadow of the person you used to be. And you're living trapped in this prison cell. You're refusing to escape it, despite the fact that you're saying you want to escape it. Do you even believe yourself? Because I don't. And now you might be thinking to yourself, me, confident right now? That's impossible. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Think of a domain of life where you're really good at it. Maybe it's a sport, maybe it's your career, your studies. Do you have any self-doubts in those endeavors? You are so confident, there is no thought that's judgmental or detrimental about this. There is no overthinking. There is no over-optimizing these things. There is no pressure, there is no tension. You can just flow properly. That's confidence. But now you might say that, yeah, but that's niche confidence, that's skill acquisition, and yeah, that's true. But let's take another example here. I want you to think of a person in your circle that you deem as being a loser. It's not nice pointing fingers and using these terms, yeah, but we both know there is a person like that. When you interact, when you engage in conversations with that person, how do you feel? Do you feel any self doubt? Do you try to overcomplicate and over optimize and overthink every single line you say? Or are you more like flowing? You probably don't care whatsoever about what they think of you. You could literally break a confident body language rule. You'll be fine with it. You can say the most stupid things, you'll be fine with it because you don't care about what they have to say. That's confidence. So you are confident right now. The issue is not that you are not confident, but rather that you have these social hierarchies. You have these social hierarchies and you've placed yourself pretty low on that hierarchy. This social hierarchy is your reputation that you have to live by every single time, your bare minimum, your expectations of validation. All of these things put so much pressure on you. So there is no wonder your confidence is hidden. Because this is your confidence, and on top of it, there is layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of pressure, of tension, of expectations. These things are what's stopping you from being confident in the first place. But the beauty of it, again, the fortunate realization, is that they are just an illusion. These things don't exist, they are just in your head. So, in fact, the walls of the prison cell are nothing more than your neurons, your thoughts, and your feelings. It's pretty stupid and unscary when we say it like this, but you're literally holding yourself prisoner, being afraid of some feelings and some thoughts. 95% of the fears you have are just because of what you're gonna feel as a result of that, not because what's gonna happen on the outside. There is no lion that's here to eat you. It's just your own thoughts, your own messed up perception of reality. So, the way to break out of this illusion of a prison cell is to give yourself permission. Because you have to understand that even when you are trying to satisfy other people, to please them, to make them like you, what you're doing is you're putting in all this effort for them to like you. Because after they like you, now you can give yourself a bit of permission to be more careless. This is literally the way it's going. You are outsourcing your permission to somebody else. You are waiting for their feedback so that then you can give yourself the permission. Why not give yourself the permission in the first place? So, the practical tip for you here is the next time you engage in a social situation, just remember this thought. Just remember, okay, I need to give myself the permission. From now on, I allow myself to be more carefree and everything's gonna be fine. You don't need them from the outside to come here and tell you that it's okay to be you. You can just say this to yourself and give yourself the permission. Now, this is a good first step, but it's not something we want to keep doing until you're 80 years old saying affirmations in front of the mirror. It's not sustainable. The idea and the goal here is to get to the point where you give yourself the permission automatically, where this is your default state, where you give yourself the permission. You are okay being in any way you feel like being. That is pure confidence, and it's unconditional. You don't need anything from the outside, and you don't need to remind yourself, oh, I need to give myself the permission. It just comes by default. Now, the way to work on this thing is basically emotional management, and it's a very tough process. Now you might be like, emotional management, what do you mean? That sounds pretty uncool, that sounds weak. How can that weak thing make me powerful? This weakness, as I said, it's 95% of what you're fearing on a daily basis. You're just fearing feelings. If you learn to process these feelings and emotions properly, you become powerful. It's as simple as that. But then if you run away from them, you're stuck forever. This is the only thing that matters here. Knowledge and learning tips and tricks and practices, they have their place. But the most important thing here is the emotional management. Now, practically, what you have to do is whenever you feel these negative emotions, your ego, your mind, every part of your body will tell you to run away from them. You don't want to encounter them because they are negative emotions. You feel fear, you feel anxiety, you feel shame and guilt. What you have to do is turn yourself around and go straight to that emotion and hug it until it stops. Hug it with acceptance. not with the hope that it will just be over as soon as possible. Because if you do that, it will only persist and you've solved nothing. Stay with it and accept it. When you do that, it passes away and you're free. The walls of the prison cell just dissipate. You don't even need to open the gate anymore. And you get to the point where you give yourself the permission by default. Because this is how you learn to give yourself the permission by default. Now you don't need to remind yourself that, oh, let's be more careless. Now you are like that automatically. That's the beauty of it. And you need to iterate through this process consistently, not only like once or twice. You iterate through it consistently, and after doing it for long enough, which might be weeks, months, or even years, then you are free, and it's beautiful. Now, if you want my personal guidance through this process, I have a link in the description and you can book a free one-on-one call with me. I will explain everything to you in a way that you will understand it, suited to your current life situation, to your personality type, and you will get to make progress 10 times faster. So I can't wait to hear from you.